Hello, this is the Tepid Coder. In this video, I want to go over regular expressions in C++. I'm not going to go super in-depth, but I'll go enough in-depth where people can actually use them. So, we have to include the regex header, which includes standard regex. It also gives us stuff like regex match, standard regex search, and standard smatch, and a couple other things like that. Anyway, you can use it in a couple ways. The first thing you can do is use it to find substrings in a string, and actually find out what's in those substrings based on some pattern. The other thing you can do is you can see if two strings match. So you can see if a string matches a pattern to validate input, for example. And you might want to be able to match just one string, or you might want to be able to match multiple instances of this pattern across like a large buffer. So let's start off real simple here. So let's have a string, include string, okay. Call it stir regex. Okay, and inside this regex string, let's say I want to match the pattern test. If I did some kind of a regex match on a string to see if it matches pattern, it would have to actually be test exactly. Nothing before it, nothing after it. Every character has to be matched exactly. Maybe even SPK sensitive, depending on how you constructed the regex expression. But maybe I want to match like test, best, or rest. What you can do is you can stick those options in brackets. So I say T, R, B. It could be test, could be rest, could be best. You can match any of these options for this character. And if I want it to be something like maybe a period or an exclamation mark or whatever I want, or any character after this, I stick a period, that means match anything in that spot. And what I could also do is maybe I put a Q here and I say U, question mark. Question mark means it might exist, it might not. I can also do something like an asterisk, which means 0 or more. So maybe it's not here, maybe there's one of them, maybe there's 100 of them, doesn't matter. Here's 1 or more. So those are pretty much the basic things you need to know in regular expression. I'll be going over some other things too, like if you want a literal backslash, or not backslash, but a literal bracket, you can put a backslash in front of it to escape it. Now it's a literal bracket instead of a list of things that it could match here. What else? You can do a caret here. If it's inside these brackets, it means match anything that isn't in this capture, or not capture, but anything that isn't defined inside of these brackets. So let's look at an actual case of this, right? I'll do something real simple. Say I want to match a string that says this is only a test. Okay, and I'll put test in brackets, right? And all I want to get out of this is the substring test. And I'm going to find it based on anything that's inside of brackets. So let's actually write that out. This is only a test. This is not going to be our regular expression though. This is going to be the string we want to match. So I'm going to call it string a stack equals this. So now the regular expression for that, I'm going to say we don't care about anything before it, but we do want it to start with a opening bracket. So I'm going to escape that. Now the problem here, you're going to notice right away, is it's inside of a string, and a backslash means to escape something. Well, you can't escape this, but I can escape a backslash, and I need 2 backslashes for this. Now that's going to be really annoying to do, so I'm going to use something called a raw string. So what you can do for raw strings is you can define your own delimiter. By default, it's going to look for the closing parenthesis and ending quote. So in here I could say like testing 1, 2, 3 inside of quotes. That's a valid string because it's looking for it to end with a closing parenthesis and a quote. You can also define your own delimiter like this. So if I put delim open parentheses, then it expects closing parentheses, then delim. So I want to use a pound sign here because that's not going to be inside my regular expression. Okay, so let's start with anything. We'll end with anything. And between that, say I want to have a literal bracket, so I'm going to escape that with 1 backslash now because it's a raw string. Okay, and then what I'm going to say is I want to capture everything inside of that. The way you capture something, a substring, is you put it in parentheses. Okay, and what do I want to capture? Well, I want to capture anything that's not a closing bracket. So I'm going to say not, escape it, closing bracket. Okay, and I want 1 or more of those. If I didn't put the plus there, it would be expecting something like this, just 1 character before it. But because I put a plus there, it can be any number of characters. Anything that's not this token, right? If I put 2 in a row, it's going to stop right here and get all the stuff in here, and there's just an extra trailing token at the end. So anyway, let's stick this into here, and that should match it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to match this haystack string with this regular expression in order to find this substring. Okay? So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to create a regular expression object out of this regular expression string. So regex, I'll call it re block or bracket contents. I'm going to construct it with following arguments: the regex, so the expression I defined, and then I'm going to do some flags. So regex constants, I'll match it like you would in ECMA script. Okay. I'm also going to say, how about standard regex constants icase. This would mean that if I had some characters in here, like say I had a regular expression that was like, instead of like a bracket here, it was like a T. It could also match a capital T. That would happen. Okay, anyway. Just want to show that off. There's other options you can do here too. So instead of ECMA script, you could do something like egrep or just grep and make it match the function of a tool. So there's some options you want to look through inside of the C++ documentation. And what else? Let's actually search for the expression now. So regex search. So the first thing you do here is you put in the string that you want to search through for the regular expression. So the haystack. Okay. Next, what you want to put in there is a variable to accept all the substrings that you matched. So matches. This is going to be something called a standard smatch. Okay, we're going to call that matches. Okay. That's our output variable. Then we have the regular expression to match against that haystack. So re bracket contents. Okay. And that should give us a list of matches. It's going to be the entire string we matched, or I should say the entire string that matched this pattern. This is our pattern, right? Regular expression. And this is the entire string that we're matching against that pattern. And then the first capture group will be this stuff inside of these parentheses, right? Which includes anything that starts after bracket, includes anything but a closing bracket, up to that first closing bracket. So let's actually show those. We'll do for const auto match, which comes from matches. And then what I can do is I can say cout, if I can type, see capture group, type quotes, okay, and I'll put match here in the line, and that should work. So each of these matches, when you iterate through them, should return a string. But if you want, you can also do this. I'll say standard cout. I'm going to say first capture group, just to show another way of doing it. This is probably how you'd be using it more often than not. You'll be saying matches position 1, because remember the first is going to be the entire string that we match it against. Okay, and then we're doing dot stir. So the first, the second member of matches is going to be the actual capture, the first capture, whereas the 0th is going to be the entire string. Let's try and actually run that. So g++ test.cp shows test. I think you need at least C++17 for this. C++17. So I didn't like something. What didn't it like? String with a capital S is not a member. Okay, so let's find line 8 here. Okay. What else did we mess up? Okay. ECMA script is not a member. Did I mean ECMA script? Oh, I suppose I did. ECMA script. Right here. ECMA. Oh, I typed a capital C. Jeez. Man. Okay, so RA bracket contents was not declared in the scope. Did I mean brack contents? Did I really type that? Where is it? Yeah, I did type brack contents. Jeez. Okay. What else now? Expected a semicolon before the return statement. So, right here at the end of this cout that I didn't actually end the statement with a semicolon. Okay, let's try this. Test. Okay, so capture group is a T. So, I think I got rid of the plus. Oh, I see what happened. I put the plus outside of the capture group. What I want to grab is anything that matches this one or more times. So, I'm matching anything that is not a closing bracket. One or more time, I'm capturing all of that. Putting the plus outside of that capture group was a mistake, so here we go. So now it matches the whole test. So let's do a interesting string now. So let's say best, rest, quest, whatever. Anyway, if I want to grab more of these, what I need to do, get rid of this. In fact, I don't even need that anymore. It's going to be standard s regex iterator, it I'll call it. I'm going to initialize it with stir haystack dot begin. I'm getting at the range to search through with the regex expression. Okay, up to the end. And then I'm saying re bracket contents. Okay. And then I want another standard s regex iterator. I'll call it it end. The default constructor for this basically gives you a sentinel node that you can use when you're searching through a string using this iterator. And it works for any of these you define. You don't have to give it like some special haystack end or something weird. So that's kind of nice. But since these both have the same type, I'm just using the default constructor for this. I'm just going to do comma. I'm going to do that. That'll work exactly the same way. And you can use this to actually iterate through a range. So let's do that. I'm going to say, well, it does not equal it end. And move to the next match. And for each of these, you can imagine I have something like a standard s match. I can loop through those. So I'm going to say const auto match from it. Have to kind of like quote dereference that to get the underlying s match that's being referred to by this iterator. It's not really dereferencing, it's an operator overload, but you get the idea. Okay, I'm going to standard cout. I'm going to say capture group. It's going to be match. There we go. And if I wanted, I could also just do like I guess I'd have to do this. And some index, right? One would be stir. That should also be valid. I'll try that. Standard cout. First capture group. Do that. Okay. Alright, let's try this. Nope. So line 31. Bracket contents not defined. Bracket, apparently. Nice. So line 31. Really? So line 38. Missing a semicolon. Where did I forget that? Right here. Okay. Okay. I cannot type today. Jeez. Anyway, so the first capture is quest. First capture group quest. And that's all it's finding. Okay. Bracket contents. What am I searching for? So any garbage up to something with brackets. Grab the stuff inside of the brackets, one or more. And then some extra garbage at the end. That's interesting. What if I get rid of these? I shouldn't really need to do that, so... There we go, that's better. So what was happening there, because I was matching the garbage before and after it, I have any number of characters, right? And then a bracket, and then a closing bracket, and then any number of characters. It seems to me like this could have just as easily have matched on this side, and it had any number of characters, but I think it wanted to end with a bracket and then a number of characters that wasn't that bracket. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Point being, I was able to show more than one match now. And what I could do as well is I could say I want 2 matches per line. Maybe I want to get like test and best, and I want to get rest and quest. Alright, so let's try that real quick. I'm going to say there could be any number of characters between these. I'm going to say I want a literal bracket to enclose, a literal closing bracket also to enclose, a capture group, and inside the capture group I want anything that's not an escape closing bracket, so literal bracket. Okay, that one or more. So now I should group this into test and best, and then rest and quest. Let's stick us in that raw string. I'm just going to do this. There we go. Let's do that. Now what's it going to do? There we go. It's delimiting it by line. So the first capture group it gets is test and best, and it drops on the next line, and it's seeing rest and quest, and it's grabbing those out of that. So test best, rest quest. And of course I could have other garbage around that, so... And I do, right? I have this is only a test. Like put stuff between it too. So like trash 1, I'll put, and then garbage, garbage apparently, garbage. Okay, pre, mid, post. Okay, try that. So you can see, grabs this stuff, so it started the match, and at the end of that last bracket, and it just grabs the stuff between these like I told it to. Anyway, that's how you can use regular expressions. Sorry this is a bit, I don't know, a bit slow because of my scatterbrained syntax errors and mistyping stuff with shift a couple times, missing semicolons, whatever. In the next video, I want to actually parse some real data with this. I'm thinking about taking a log file from a game and making like a basic DPS parser or something, because it'll show some real use cases of it. But if you liked this video, you found it useful, you got something from it, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing for more content, and if you have any comments, suggestions, or criticisms, please leave those as well, because I'm not getting a ton of comments. I can actually read everything, and I have been, and responding to everything. So, I suppose that's going to do it. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good day.